By the way, I just tweeted from my personal account to my business account while sitting at the table waiting to speak at the 140 conference, and I think I time traveled. So, very important to remember. I was one of those people who got onto Twitter because it was fun. I started off just thinking I'm going to have a personal account. I can lurk in the shadows. Occasionally I'll have a drifting thought, and I'll throw it out there. And in 22 years of healthcare, and then opening my own company to do violence prevention training, I never realized that there would ever be a tie-in. In fact, I would be at someone's meeting, and I would be tweeting, and then it was my turn to speak, and I'd get up and speak, not realizing I had a powerful tool in my hand that I could have been using right there in that room to get information out. 30 million people last year complained of bullies in the workplace. 30 million people in the United States. Another 4 million in Europe from the statistics that you can gather. This is a huge issue. How many of you have children in school that have come home and maybe talked about bullying? They've been bullied at school. These are real issues. And I had to one day realize that something was wrong, because while I was talking, there was a woman who wouldn't make any eye contact with me, and I was talking about rapport skills, and I was talking about making the appropriate eye contact. And the entire time, she's on her cell phone. Well, what I realized later is that she was sending me an email because she had my web address, and she had a lot of issues that she wanted to talk about. So the next time that I did a presentation, I actually said, if you would like to live tweet during the presentation, go ahead and do that. Send me your information. Here's the account, and I'll talk to you, and I'll try to work in what you're saying or address your issue in my presentation. It was a revelation. Bless you. It was a revelation. It changed the way I do what I do, because all of a sudden, somebody in that room who had a very real issue, I wasn't talking about some esoteric thing. Hey, let's all make sure we make good eye contact. Hey, if you talk with your hands, I'll talk with my hands, because it'll make us be, you won't even know why. You'll just know there's something about this guy I like. I'll make appropriate eye contact. I won't sit here and stare at you while you're talking like you're trying to teach me a card trick. She broke eye contact right there, so I'm going to break it now. These are the little things that we don't realize sometimes. And the other thing about this device kills relationships. I love to tweet. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, I love it. It's so good. But as soon as I feel that twinge when I goes, I immediately want to pick it up. And if we're having a conversation, is that the proper time? Probably not. And when I talk to people about what it is that makes them feel like they've been bullied, it's that their time, no one took care of their time. Your time's important. You came here today to listen to people talk about what's going on in the world, the 140 conference. I have to do you a favor and not say, oh, I just got to tweet, just a second. Yeah, oh my God, that's so funny. That happens at work all the time. You ever made an appointment with someone and you go to see them? It's an appointment. You have the appointment, they have the appointment. You know there's an appointment, and you show up, and the phone rings, their cell phone rings, and they pick it up. Anybody ever have that happen to them? Do you feel valued at that point? Twitter makes things happen in real time. You've heard it over and over and over again. I was speaking at a group yesterday, and while I was talking, I was being critiqued in real time, just like everybody here today is being critiqued in real time about what they're saying. What I'd ask you to do is slow down for a moment. Pete Seeger, the great singer, the folk singer, had on his guitar, "This device kills fascists." Well, your cell phone should say, "This device kills relationships." And guess what? Whether you mean it or not, there are people out there doing tone readings on your tweets. There's no tone. There's no tone. You just threw a one off because you wanted to have a little fun. And guess what? Now someone's tone reading it because they're having some personal issue, and now that's tied up into what you've just tweeted. And when I see everyone doing this, I know you know what I'm talking about. 140 characters is amazing because here's what it does. It focuses you like a laser on what you want to say. There can't be any wasted words. Imagine if you applied that to your life. Imagine if you applied that to your relationships on a daily basis. There can't be any wasted words. You need to say what's important. You need to throw in the careful, funny aside from time to time. But when 30 million people in this country, and another 5 million that I can find around the world, are telling me that they've been bullied, and that's not counting school children that get bullied every day, where are these social skills that are going to be available for them? Where are they going to learn these things? What I have found is that Twitter has become an outlet. I will send an email and say, hit me up, and I will get an outpouring of rage. And I will let them just say whatever they need to say. And that happens in real time. And then I will sit down with the HR director and not give anyone's name, but say, you've got some issues here. And I've done this at a school, where you sit down with the school and say, here are some issues you might want to address. There are a lot of issues that Twitter can bring up. There's a lot of fun you can have with it. You've heard a lot about emergency management today. What I want you to understand is that it's important, it's impactful, have fun with it, but remember, you can't block people in real life. If you develop that device, I will go in with you immediately, and we will be multi-billionaires. But you can't do that to real life people. You can do it on Twitter, though. If somebody's bullying you on Twitter, have anybody ever been bullied on Twitter out there? Quite a few of you. Well, I hope you did that cleansing thing where you hit block and you take that deep breath. But you can't block your boss. Now, you can decide to quit, you can decide to walk away, but what I would really recommend that you do is that you have that 140 character of strength, and you go in and say what needs to be said, and you have that conversation that's going to lead to a better relationship, or at least let you know where you stand. I thank you for your time, I thank you for your passion, your commitment, and thanks for having me here today.